Hey, what's up guys, this is Control, and this is going to be episode 1 of Control's Wild Basics. Today I'm bringing you guys Aggro Paladin. So this is what the current iteration of Aggro Paladin looks like post Raza, Patches, Corridor Creeper, and Bone Mare nerf. Basically what's changed with the deck is it now runs in Ruby and Eggs, Blessing of Kings, Fungalmancer, and Blessing of Might. So a couple cards that you wouldn't necessarily have expected before just because they weren't really necessary or even that great in the deck. But now, due to the way the metagame is looking, these type of cards actually are very, very good in the deck and can lead to a lot of success. Especially cards like Blessing of Might are very surprising to be seen in Aggro Paladin. I know it's 1 mana deal 3 damage, so the way you can think about it is it's sort of like Cold Blood, but it's just not a card you'd think would make a top tier deck in Wild for Paladin. However, it does in this deck. So that's a really sweet tool that you can use to trade up with Divine Shields like Righteous Protector, Shielded Minibot, or again activate your Ruby and Eggs. Other cards in this deck, just Fungalmancer is one that's kind of interesting. Again, this is just a card that's used to buff up some of your chief tokens, look to play around AoE removal spells, or just go ahead and get favorable trades on the board or push more damage face. It's one of the cool cards that was kind of not too great beforehand just because Corridor Creeper really overshined it. It was just way more powerful. A 0 mana 5/5 was a lot better than a 5 mana 2/2 that gave adjacent minions plus 2/2. But this card has kind of shown that it's actually a kind of a good card and one that can tie this deck together and make cards like Ruby and Egg, useful tools that are actually meaningful to be run in this deck. I'll do standard stuff like Muster for Battle, Call to Arms, Sunkeeper Tareem, Knife Jugglers, Haunted Creepers. There's just like very standard Aggro Paladin cards in this deck. Some of the interesting stuff is the double Divine Favor, so it's just used against the slow decks to kind of just refill after you dump your hand. Again, you usually draw your top end with Divine Favor, assuming you played 1 or 2 Call to Arms, because then the trash in the bottom of the deck is a little bit thinned out. So then you get like your 3 and 4 drops from it, which is beautiful. And then 1 Spellbreaker, so I would recommend running 2 if you're queuing into a lot of Warlocks and a lot of Big Priests, but 1 is fine otherwise. Anyway, so hopefully that's a decent enough overview of the deck. We're going to move into some gameplay now, and hopefully I can walk you guys through how to draw Call to Arms by turn 3 or 4. Okay, Mage should be pretty good for us. I definitely like queuing into these decks because we usually dump to them. I think I'm almost fine keeping a Creeper just because the deck only has 5 1-drops. It's not like the best 2 though, so I guess I can toss it. Sorry for the ding. Just the opportunity to get a 1-drop is probably worth the mulligan, to be honest. Especially when you're on the play. This Creeper's not like a bad card, but it's not the best card either. And we got the Jungle Boys. 2 boys lost in the jungle together. Let's see if we can help them find a way home and beat Gene up. Manorm off the top. Second Manorm. Oh, Cabal Lackey. Damn, if there's something that I like to draw off the top when I'm playing Secret Mage, gotta be honest, it's gotta be the Manorm when I'm on the coin. Or on the play, either or. Definitely just going to make both the bumps to deny the value from the ping. His hand size is really low, so it's kind of unlikely he's anything good next turn. Although it's probably Arcanologist, yeah. He's got to make the trade though, which is... Or, sorry, he doesn't have to make the trade, but we got to make the trade is what I mean. Which is pretty sweet if you ask me. And we got to go wider with Divine Shield minions. And this is basically why I think my deck, or just Paladin decks in general, dump on Mage decks. He's played 4 cards, I've played 4 as well, but my 4 cards have accomplished a lot more than his. Counterspell is not doing that much because we don't need to play for Call to Arms right now. So what we can do this turn is just go like Keeper of Oldham in here on the 1/1 and just go face, and then probably go face again because if he had Valet he would have played there. So we're not going to play around Valet and just go face again. Push some more damage. Could argue the value trade's better. I personally just like jamming the damage in because if he wants to be able to trade this, otherwise he has to go for a ping again. Which means that I'm just wasting damage if I'm trading it in. Of course, he has a Frostbolt. It's fine though. He gets to take out a 2/2. No big deal. We get the value trade still. And we get to play Loatheb, which usually just shuts down his next turn. I will deny this value trade. Last turn, I don't think it was super likely he was going to get one off. This turn, he would definitely get one. So just deny it. It's fine. And Loatheb is a 5/5 is pretty nice, so secret costing 0, unlucky, it still works through Loatheb, feels bad, man. It's all good though. I think we just Tareem here, to be honest, like value trade with Loatheb, play Tareem, go face for 3. Why, you might ask to do that? Because I have Divine Favor plus Blessing and a board with 12 power is still more than enough to win. So you're going to trade here, and if it's explosive runes, he still has to ping it, right? So I think this is fine. Because it's 7 health minion. No big deal. Again, just making his turn awkward and making him play in a reactive manner just means we're going to win the game. Chat spamming order, I missed the damage. With Tareem or... Oh yeah, you're right, I did miss 1 damage. You guys are correct. Fortunately, I mathematically set it up so I still have lethal here. Because I knew my opponent was going to go face, so it doesn't really matter if I miss 1 damage because I'm still going to win. But, oh, actually, he has Ice Block. But yes, hello YouTube comments, I missed 1 damage. Hello friends, how are you? Control, you missed 1 damage, dude. No wonder you're rank 5 and not legend. I know, guys, I suck. I don't have to play Tareem, so I can't just go... I guess I don't really want to hero power because I can Spellbreaker one of my minions and go face then. In the case of Nova, so we don't go face. And we don't hero power, sorry. Because he's running Ice Block, that makes it more likely that he's running Nova. It's still unlikely, but it's possible that he is.
Because fuck Wild, alright?
Hi, so close to meeting Mum at the board. You look V handsome today.
Thank you, Muzzy, appreciate it. Hope you're having a great day, and thank you so much for the 14 months, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. It's good to see you. Hope you like watching me beat up on mages, because that's what we're doing right now. I mean, I hope at least. This guy's, you know, he's doing calculus right now to figure out how to win. He's trying to find the derivative of how to defeat Sunkeeper Tareem. He's like, how do I draw Flame Strike and get Innervate in 2 mana, and then deny Control's Divine Favor for the following turn to win? What's the equation here? And hey, Control, did you know if you ordered that correctly, you could put your opponent in 2 right now? I did, guys. I did. Yeah, I did. If I attack correctly, my opponent would be at 2 health right now. But, as we all know, Control the board is boosted, and, you know, small game interactions like that are too hard for me to figure out. So I'm just going to win the game the good old way after the opponent rage quits. Good stuff. Vodka soda palm bays, baby, let's go. Okay, got a priest, so this could be our big priest buddy here. Somebody playing the big priest deck. I think keeping Knife Juggler is fine just because it's a proactive 2-drop. Tareem, don't mind if I do. 1-drops are really important, but I feel like they're just not that great against decks that don't really play on board for too long at all. Like Righteous Protector or Finley is what I mean by that. Lost in the Jungle is good because it's 2 damage on turn 1. But I don't feel like Protector or Sir Finley are that impactful. Because I'd rather just like curve out with minions and life tap against Big Priest. I think Blessing of Kings is a big pro in this matchup too, because they only run 1 death and 1 silence. I honestly probably just do this here. Like I probably just do this to get damage in right away. It also plays around Horror, which is pretty big, and then I can Blessing of Kings the Haunted Creeper next turn. And get a 5-6 and just start clocking him in the head. Oh, did he top deck Barnes? Oh no, Dustbreaker, okay. So he's not a big priest. It's good to know. So now we Blessing of Kings, value trade, go face for 1. Is there a reason I'm value trading? He's playing combo priest so you can silence. Felon's Chosen is a punish too. Yeah, that's fine. Hoping you get a 2-drop so I can play Righteous Protector 2-drop Hero Power next turn and then play Tareem on 6. Like to save Spellbreaker, but if you play something that I can break your next turn, I will do it. Like this is a, you know, it's an okay Spellbreaker target. I'm personally a pretty big fan of silencing Twilight Drakes. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, what I like more than silencing Twilight Drakes as Spellbreakers is Earth-shocking them. That's gotta be one of the grossest things, dude. Earth-shocking a Twilight Drake. Trade in into what? Okay, that's fine. So that's really bad for us, obviously. Mustard plus Creeper is really good refill though. And it's gonna jam the 1 damage phase. We should have at least 2 minions here next turn to go with Tareem. You can use second potion, trade into one of the Silverhand recruits, but then we can just pop the Haunted Creeper and use Sunkeeper Tareem again and get 2 tokens. Oh, a Dragonfire potion main decked. Wow. Okay. Well, this game's gonna be a lot harder than we thought it would be initially. So that's fun. Whew. Don't think that we go for Sunkeeper yet. I think we just Hero Power, play Sunkeeper here. Or sorry, Keeper of Ultimate. Clear the Azure Drake. Our minions still trade really well on board here. But we're in dire need of probably Divine Favor. That's likely how we're going to win the game. Is Divine Favor, get some good cards, vomit the hand. Oh, looks like another Dragonfire potion. You know, I really hate to say it, but, you know, I don't know how people can play cards like that in their deck when there's legitimate people playing Naga Sea Witch on ladder right now. It's like, have you heard of Light Bomb before? It's a good card. Gonna save the swing again. This deck doesn't run Rallying Blades, so we're gonna save the swing here. Because it could be more impactful later on. Wow, he main decks Blackwing Corruptor in Wild. That's engaging. Yeah, there's some cards you don't always expect to see in Wild, even though they're Wild cards, and Blackwing Corruptor is definitely one of those that you just really don't expect, to be honest. So we can push 10 here if we want. I definitely value trading on board more so than just going face, though. But it's a matter of how to do that efficiently. The dragons need to die. I might just honestly just go Lost in the Jungle Hero Power Tareem full trade, because then I still have the Tareem after Dragonfire. You could also argue that I just shouldn't play around anything and just go face, because he has to draw a Dragonfire, and I lose to AoE anyways, and I have no refill. I guess my Nerubian Egg gets the value trade anyways, right? Yeah, it's probably better to go face here, to be honest. Like trade here, then do this, and then go face. Because Nerubian Egg still gives me a 4/4, and this is still Divine Shield, and Dragonfire is still bad here, so he has the Psychic Scream. There's no way you're running Psychic Scream in Dragon Priest deck ever. Ever, dude. Ever. That's not happening. So this should honestly be a pretty disgusting board for him to have to deal with. And I'm kind of confused as to how he'll do it. Because the Dragonfire stuff, it doesn't work. Because he has to triple trade the 3/7 for it to do anything. Operative's okay because you can get stuff like Righteous Protector. Or Called Arms, but Called Arms isn't that good in this deck because the Dragon card's mostly a Battle Cries. That's good, but not good enough. We win. Okay, good game. Honestly, the double Dragonfire is like really bad for us and kind of dumped on us early, but I mean, I'm glad we got over the ledge, and I think stuff like the Spellbreaker onto the Twilight Drake really got us there. Good game. And I did see the kill and got rank 1 with Power Warrior. He's God. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Guys, we got a Paladin Mirror matchup. Finley and Muster are good. You guys know what card I'm looking for, right? I'm calling for it. I'll take a 1, 2, 3, 4, but my 4-drop's not Called Arms, so I'm not super happy. If you don't get it when I said, you know, I'm calling, I mean, I'm looking for Called Arms there. That's the one that you want. That's the 4-drop that just goes, hey, I'm gonna win the game. Turns out Paladin Mirrors right now are generally a race towards those cards. Spellbreaker, assuming we're playing similar decks, should be really good in this matchup. Because I have Muster, I think I'm gonna take a life tap. I feel like I'm just not gonna hit it, and Totems could have been better, to be honest. Just because I run double Divine Favor in the deck. I think that I just like playing the Nerubian Egg here and bumping. Because if he doesn't muster and clear the 1-2, then what I can do is coin the Keeper of Uldaman, buff up the Nerubian Egg, trade into the 1-2, and then trade the Juggler. I feel like I'm just behind though because I didn't have like a 2-drop that really does a lot, and I really don't want to play Muster for Battle into Night Juggler. Oh wow. Well, my number one tip for the opponent would to be learn how to juggle better. It's an important tip and something that I think is really crucial to do when you're playing Hearthstone. Interested why he didn't juggle first before he attacked. It's weird. Well, I like Muster for Battle now. I think it's good, and I'm probably going to coin the Righteous Protector as well. Just going to swing into the Knife Juggler because that card's scary. Go coin a Righteous Protector here. Protect, I mean, I don't actually protect my Nerubian, but all my 1-1s should live. The Silverhand recruits that being the 1-1s, so then I should be able to get Keeper of Uldaman next turn. Card we're scared of, quite obviously, Call to Arms. If he has that, we're going to be in a bad spot here. But I have a feeling we can still bounce back from that. He's actually floated 2 crystals in Hero. He didn't technically float because he did Hero Power, but he's Hero Powered, whereas we've developed minions that have actually accomplished something. So if he, you know, continues the trend of playing like a 2-drop and Hero Powering here, we're probably just going to win. Just because we aren't floating mana crystals and having to use a Hero Power, developing things. Fortunately for us, though, he does have, you know, the big boy card. Gonna get the trade in, trade, and bump that Nerubian there most likely. See you later, alligator. Ship's Cannon's looking kind of scary there. I am liking the Keeper of Uldaman here. You bump one big boy, you bump one big boy, you trade into the 2-3, and you go face. I really like trading as much as I possibly can in these matchups because all that really matters in these aggro mirrors, especially against Aggro Paladin, is controlling the board, no pun intended. So really all you got to give a shit about is saying, hey, if you have a board, I am going to clear it over and over again because, you know, if this 3-4 lives for like 4 turns, that's dealing 12 damage, right? Or maybe I value trade into like 3 minions, and then my 4-drop clears like a 2-drop, a 3-drop, and a 4-drop, and then, well, my 4-drop's a lot more valuable than your 3 cards, so it's kind of the way that she works. Looks like next turn might be the first one we do end up floating mana crystals as well. It's an okay Spellbreaker. I think there's better targets, especially considering I have Blessing of Kings in my deck. And Nerubian Egg as well, but it's like okay for tempo here because he gets a value trade. So what's the play here? We can just Keeper of Uldaman again. We could just full trade, play Minibot and Muster. Is that better than value trading? I feel like value trading is better, to be honest. I'm not going to bump into the 4-2. I don't think taking 4 damage here is relevant, because, sorry, valuable, because of life tap. So I'm just going to go face and then play Muster for Battle and shield the Minibot again. I'm not respecting Contact with his play. He's playing Pirate Package. I don't think he has it in his deck. I really just don't think Consecration is a good card in Aggro Paladin decks, so I don't think he's going to be running it. I can see the argument for it in like mid-range Paladin decks, like Dude Paladin, but he's just straight up playing Aggro Paladin, right? He's literally got Ship's Cannon and the Pirate Package in the deck. He's going face. I would not recommend running Hammer of Wrath in Aggro Paladin. The tip of the day from Control. Fungomancer's looking good. Let's buff up that Divine Shield minion real quick. Probably just gonna trade off that, swing with my face. Actually, let's just do it like this. Nice healthy 4-4, and we see Fungomancer being really good, sticking it on the Divine Shield minion here. Buffing up the Minibot. 4-4 Minibot is better than a 2-2 Minibot. We smart.
Put this apple on your head.
Oh no. Apple head. You're not hitting that 4-4. It's not happening. Okay, we're good at the game. So we can Keeper of Uldaman, our 3-3 value trade, swing, value trade, go face for 3, then Divine Favor for 2. Seems like a good play to me.
None may steal our secrets.
Again, from my perspective, these matchups are all about just getting value trades, solely overcoming your opponent's board. Because if you keep on getting the value trades again, your cards are just more valuable than theirs. They do more, and you get the chip damage in. Again, the Uldaman's been, sorry, not this Uldaman, but yeah, I was gonna say the Uldaman's been alive forever. This is my second one though, so that's not true. Okay, that's again an interesting card to be running in Aggro Paladin. I'm not sure I necessarily agree with that deck conclusion, but you know what? That's all good, man. To each their own, you know? Everybody likes to play different cards in Hearthstone. Just gonna Spellbreaker here. Actually, we can just like life tap, I guess. I don't really feel the need to go in. I probably like life tap, jungle, and play Fungomancer here.
Reporting for duty. Not in my will be purged.
Don't say anything, guys. Please, come on. Just like stop. Okay, stop. Don't do it. Don't. It's early in the morning. Okay, it's 10 a.m. here. Okay, it's 10 a.m. Okay, it's 10 a.m. and I'm winning the game no matter what. All right, so stop it. Okay, stop it. Stop.